great still is.
Yeah. But now the unique thing about it is that you can drive out on the beach if you have a permit, and that's what's unusual to me.
Yeah, we have a beach truck that's I guess based on what's ever been its whole life since it was bought brand new. It's a beach truck that it's 4-wheel drive, and yeah, we can take it on the beach anytime we want to. And we're grandfathered in, thank goodness, where we don't ever have to worry about not having it. And it's a game changer with kids and throwing all your chairs and umbrellas and coolers. I mean, you can basically just back up right next to the shore, and then you just load it up and head back to the house when you're done.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to operate that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those, they do a lottery system, and they only issue out, I think, maybe 300 passes a year. To different residents that live in Walton County.
Yeah.
Of course, that's counting, Freeport, Funiac Springs, anybody in Walton County, not just South Walton, where I live.
But now, different individuals can put their boats in there, too. That's another unique thing. They can't park them. They can't park them, but they can put them in there. Is that right?
Yeah, those are charter fishermen. They come down every day with their boat trailers, and they go out, actually on Great Beach. They back their boats into the ocean, and I think they go out for 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours in the afternoon.
All right, so they have to go out and come in twice a day. Is that right?
Well, they're constantly going in and out to pick up more customers. Yeah.
I got you.
And then you can you can watch them bring their fish in. So it's kind of neat. You get to see what they call it. All you got to do is just walk over there and they hang them on the hooks when they get back.
Sometimes they'll sell them. They'll sell them to you on the hook. They'll sell them to you out there, won't they?
Yeah, if they got some extra fish, they will. Yeah.
When I was a young fella, mother worked for Arthur Coker at Troy University in the housing.
I knew Arthur Coker.
And he knew of somebody there on the other side of Destin, and it was called Francesca's Motel. And I can remember we walked down the stairs, and our room had a big bay window. You could open up the door to your room, and I bet you 100 yards you were at the beach. And I remember we would go down the beach at night and shine for crabs, and we'd catch crabs. And Mother she came in and boiled them, and we had crabs for supper.
Yeah,
that was real neat.
It's nothing for me to be walking on the road on High Street where the sand dunes are, and a lot of times crowds will cross the road while I'm walking.
Yeah, no question about it. It's a lot of fun, and of course we're discussing what Great Beach has to offer the actual individual, not only somebody on vacation or somebody wanting to spend a month or 2 months down there at a time.
Yeah, the only problem is you have people that try to come out on their vehicles that are not full-wheel drive, and they get stuck heading out to the beach all the time, and then they don't have a permit sticker, and they get fined $300. That happens left and right as well.
No,
they can't. They're not even supposed to drive a golf cart down there either, are they? Unless they have that permit.
No, they can't drive a golf cart on the beach. They drive golf carts everywhere else. These golf cart businesses down here are gold mines.
We've got a
bicycle golf cart place. You'd be in great shape.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of an echo.
Echo in our.
Okay.
Then we've got it.
Yeah,
right.
we got it.
Of course, our show is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy, and of course our good friends at Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need. We've got Will Matthews coming on our show today, our local attorney, and we'll find out what's going on with him.
Yeah, I talked to Brian Snyder yesterday. Brian's a native of Goshen, Alabama. Grew up between here and between Troy and 10 Mile Branch. He's the son of Keith and Linda Snyder. He's got two brothers. Bart's coaching in Goshen, and his other brother, Robinette. I call him Robinette, but Robin's a longtime coach and a teacher. But he's one of the new vice presidents of the branch bank for Troy Bank and Trust in Auburn, Alabama. I talked to him yesterday. A fraternity brother of ours who passed away about 2 or 3 years ago Ken Johnson. He and I were the original Blues Brothers. Well, his daddy, Mr. Gene Johnson, passed away yesterday. And let me tell you a story about Mr. Gene. His sister is married to Terry Everett.
Yeah, the
and
congressman.
Right. And but anyway, he passed away. But what he did in the United States Air Force for about 17 years, he was in charge of a unit that controlled everything that went on and off all the Air Force One airplanes and helicopters. And he grew up down there near Dothan, Alabama.
Yeah.
Mr. Gene Johnson, and just a wonderful fella, and
I didn't know your friend had died.
He died a couple of years ago. Had some problems, but Ken,
I tell you what, y'all were quite an act.
Yeah. Ken was a police officer in Troy at one time.
Yeah.
And then we did the Blues Brothers for several years, and then he became a pharmaceutical rep and was real good with that. But anyway, but I was talking to Brian yesterday, and he's excited about his new venture with Troy Bank and Trust there in Auburn, Alabama.
I'm excited for him. And of course,
Alabama has won 10 straight now in basketball. They beat Kentucky last night 70-59, and I watched the whole game. Alabama was in a fight the whole game. Kentucky really dominated them with their big guys down low, and Alabama just played so scrappy in the second half. I mean, I'd say they played a C game and still found a way to beat Kentucky for the second time in a season. They've beaten Kentucky. They beat them in Ag Rough by 20, and then they beat them last night by 11.
First time since '88 and '89, I think, was the last time they ever swept Kentucky in a year. Yeah.
32 years ago.
Yeah.
32 years ago.
Alabama's now 14-3. I saw Wim Sanderson at the game. Bautel was doing the game. I guess he was doing it from his house. So weird, these announcers.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Studios in their house, and Bautel was, carrying on, about Wim Sanderson. And Alabama, 14-3. Some people have them as a number 2 seed right now. I don't know how the season's going to finish, but really phenomenal coaching job by Nate Oates. They're two big guys. The Bronner guy, a Brooklyn guy, the guy they got from a transfer from Yale is hurt. He had a meniscus issue, and then Rojas, their other 6'8" guy, is out as well. So they're playing basically with some small guys, and they still beat Kentucky.
They're trying to shoot the three, and I watched that whole game too. And like you said, that was a lot closer game than it went down to the wire really. And but Alabama shot good from the free throw line on the way down. If you can shoot good late from the free throw line, you can win.
24 of 28.
Yeah.
Alabama was awful from three last night, 6 for 20.
Yeah.
And Kentucky was 6 for 14.
Yeah.
But
Alabama has broken some SEC records for 3-pointers in a game. Tell us about that.
That was when they played LSU. They scored had 23 3-pointers, which is an SEC.
Was that a record? Was that a SEC record?
That was an SEC record. Yeah.
Well, that was some. At one time Troy had the record. I want to say they had 27 3-pointers. This was back when they first got into Division I, and I want to say that it's been broken. But Troy had 27 one time. That was when Maestri and them were doing all the high scoring.
Right. And
I also wanted to mention Hall of Fame football coach Wayne Trawick out of Phoenix City died yesterday.
I knew Wayne Trawick, and a very good football coach, and a very good coach. And my prayers and thoughts.
He was a graduate from Abbeville High School and Troy State University.
Yeah.
Did you know he went to Troy State?
Oh yeah, I knew him. Yeah. He was a good high school coach. He really was.
Won 277 games.
He won how many?
277.
That's quite a bit.
He's in the Wiregrass Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame, and the Alabama High School Sports Hall of Fame.
A lot of coaches, John Niblett, they just, you could, start listing them, the great coaches that coached in the private schools, and some of them coached at probably 8 or 10 different schools.
Right.
In the state.
Yeah, but we got Mr. Glenn Daniel down in Luverne.
He was at Andalusia. He was at Andalusia in the '60s and the '70s.
Yeah, he really was. He won. Well, I don't know. No, now he won. He won the one that won 58 games in a row. That was my buddy
Sharp. Was it Sharp?
Donnie Sharp. Yeah. That was in public school, and and Trawick coached in private school.
He coached the Andalusia in the late '60s and the early '70s. Before that, he coached at Cottonwood and Dale County.
All right, they have hired Josh
Yep.
Heupel as the new head football coach at Tennessee. Oh, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Rocky Top, Tennessee, Rocky Top, Tennessee. How about those balls? Those balls are going to win with a Heupel, Mike. What do you think?
So is this breaking news? Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Breaking news. Steve Camp from our distinguished reporter.
It's a decent hire. I mean, he's been okay at UCF. Definitely not as good as Frost was at UCF, but that's basically you hired as the athletic director from Central Florida, and now you hired the coach from Central Florida.
Well, I'll tell you this: if he can continue to get players from Central Florida, he'll win. Central Florida, the state of Florida, probably had more football players than anybody.
Yeah, I had a report on it. Quarterback did at Oklahoma. It was a Heisman runner-up.
Transfer? Oh, he was.
No,
yeah.
he was, and that's
Yeah, he was a great college player.
yeah. They remember they beat Florida State in the national championship game 13-2.
Yeah.
But I had read that same report, Mike, and I got notes on it somewhere. But his first year after Frost left with a 13-0 record, he was 12-1, undefeated, but lost to LSU like 40-32 in the Fiesta Bowl. And then the next year went 10-3. Then last year he was 6-4. But you link where he was coaching from, that's where the athletic director from Tennessee came from. So it kind of all adds up.
Elliott, the Clemson offensive coordinator, was the leading candidate and had serious discussions about the job. It said to turn down Tennessee overtures and elected to stay at Clemson. Why in the world would you stay at Clemson and you can be a head coach in the SEC?
Boy, I
head
can't.
coach your life, you turn them down. That makes no sense.
That's hard to believe. And Heupel turned them down.
No, Heupel didn't.
No, Elliott.
Elliott.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Tony Elliott.
Oh man.
Like other candidates for James Franklin. I don't know how serious Franklin was about leaving Penn State. Cincinnati's Luke Fickell. He's a great coach, so he would have been a good hire. SMU's Sonny Dykes. Minnesota's P.J. Fleck. And then we mentioned Tony Elliott. Were all people they interviewed for the job.
Boy, they did interview some good coaches, no question about it. And I think this is he's still a young coach. He's got full of vinegar and what else?
Vim and vinegar? What is vim? Is that what you call it?
He's still got that fight in him, and everything. And
he's only 40. He's only 42.
That's what I'm saying. He's a young coach and got plenty of energy. Let's say that. And of course, Tennessee fans everywhere are jumping up and down. They haven't won a game yet, but they're jumping up and down.
His buyout was only $3.4 million, so that's good.
Yeah, I bet you that had a lot to do with some of these coaches, whether they can get a job or not, is how much buyout they have to pay.
Well, you look at it from this perspective. They got a brand new athletic director, young and energetic, with a heck of a pedigree, because his dad and his brother all are athletic directors in other areas.
About Coach White.
Yeah, Coach White, and then he's hired this young, energetic coach who had been successful. So it's like now we can do things from ground up and get the program like it's, and just start brand new and try to build it. That'd be the challenge. And on behalf of Coach, not on behalf of Coach Pruitt, but we hope that he does well.
Right.
And here's something my daddy told me a long time ago. He said, "Don't believe anything you hear, and only half of what you see." So whatever's going on at Tennessee, don't believe nothing you hear, and only half of what you see.
Yeah.
And
well, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure that Pruitt was an outstanding head football coach. Some people are made to be head football coaches. Some people are not. I know this. He was one heck of a defensive coordinator when he was at Alabama. And Mike, when you say he was probably a top 5 defensive coordinator in the country when he was at Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, he's considered one of the best recruiters in the country too. I mean, he was a great coordinator at Alabama. Was a coordinator at Florida State when they won the national championship. Then he ended up being a coordinator at Georgia. I mean,
I don't know if his buyout probably has a lot to do with what he's going to end up doing, but he'll end up landing on his feet. I'll tell you that.
He's got lawyers involved right now. They're trying not to pay him the $12 million they owe.
Ooh.
Tennessee's refusing to pay him right now, but there's no doubt that Nick Saban would love to have Smart back on the. I mean, not Smart, but Pruitt back on the staff.
Well,
Will Muschamp is now at Georgia.
Yeah.
But Saban would love to get Jeremy back with him in Tuscaloosa.
Was he? Or you say that Muschamp is?
Single bit. I didn't know that. I missed that.
Yeah, that's official. He's back at Georgia. And I don't know. Necessarily, he's going to be a defensive coach. I don't think he's necessarily going to be the coordinator, though.
Yeah, I got you. That's a pretty good combination right there.
They both played there.
Yeah, that's right.
I tell you what Heupel's got to do more than anything in Tennessee, though, is develop a quarterback. Pruitt never had a quarterback the whole time he was there. And now they still won 8 games in a row at one time.
Yeah. All right, Mike, we're going to put you on hold. Or do we have to put him on hold since he's on Zoom?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Good morning. You on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. Will, man.
All right, hold on 1 minute. Will be with you in a second. Let's see here.
Conference is right there.
Oh, yeah, I got you right here. Okay, we got both of you on right now. Mike Amos calling in from Grayton Beach, Florida, and we've got our attorney, our very distinguished attorney, Will Matthews, on the other line. How you doing, Will?
I'm doing good.
What's going on, Will Matthews?
Well, I'm here early today. I've got a big day today.
Yeah. Tennessee's got a new head coach.
And you know what? That guy's a good coach. So
you're exactly right. And the thing they went after a proven head coach, and they got one. A lot of schools, just want to take a chance on whether or not the guy will be a good head coach or not. Well, this guy's definitely proven it.
Well, a little bit about his history. Nobody wanted him, and he went to Weber State in Utah and played quarterback. Got hurt, and then had some offers, but he chose to go to Oklahoma and walk on and played for Bob Stoops.
Yeah.
And then was a national championship football coach. Quarterback.
Yeah.
For Oklahoma. So he's coached at Oklahoma, Arizona, and other places.
You're talking about Oklahoma, with a lot of great players that he can recruit, but Central Florida, you've got unlimited amount of players that can play, and good recruiting.
I'll tell you what, if I was a young coach, I would do anything to get that Central Florida job. I mean, you could win 10 games a year, every year in Central Florida.
And it's because they just got so much talent there. It's just overwhelming talent.
Well, they
you look at all the great teams out there are places to recruit from, and they all turn toward Florida. Will, tell us about what's going on.
Not much. I heard y'all talk about Alabama, Kentucky. That was a good ball game.
Yeah. And Auburn beat a good Missouri team too.
Yeah, if you get behind Alabama, you're going to lose because they're making their free throws. They hit almost 90% last night.
That's right.
They both travel this weekend. Auburn plays number 2 Baylor at Baylor.
That's it, yeah.
And then Alabama travels to number 24 Oklahoma in this Big 12 Southeastern Conference Challenge.
They've got a new player, a kid that just became eligible, and he's not only a pretty good scorer, he is a great assist man. I mean, when he gets in that middle, he's going to flip it off to somebody that's going to be wide open for a layup.
Last night, 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists for Sharif Cooper. He'll be one and done. He won't be at Auburn next year. He'll be playing pros probably.
Well, but wait a minute now. How many assists did he have?
7. He had 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists last night.
That he's not a big guy either.
No, but he's fast. He's very.
And he had that many rebounds.
That's what it says.
Boy, that is
what I pulled up. Sharif
boy.
And,
of course, Will Matthews is our golf specialist. Is anything going on in the golf world?
Yeah, they're playing at Torrey Pines this weekend.
Oh, that's one of the great golf courses in the world, isn't it right, Will?
Yeah, and Tiger's not playing. He's out with back surgery, so he's out.
Yeah. Hey, it's so many new and upcoming golfers. I don't even know which one to choose from. I mean, I look at the leaderboard and I don't even know hardly any of these guys. And I used to could tell you every one of them.
Well, Will, you'd be happy to know Mike's got on a Payne Stewart cap this morning.
And I'm not going to show off my new hairdo until it gets on out there a little bit.
We need to get him some long socks where he can stuff his britches in.
I tell you what, I love Payne Stewart. I love the way he dressed. I wish I could wear some knickers that he used to wear. And he was the coolest golfer out there, no question about it. And he used to, for years, whatever city they were playing in, he would have his knickers to look like their pro team.
Was he a singer too? Did he sing?
No,
or have
I don't
any
think
kind
so.
of entertainment?
I don't think
okay.
so. But he was a unique individual. He really was.
Mike, I played against Payne Stewart in college, and he played at SMU, which is a lot like Vandy. It's you got to be pretty smart getting SMU. And we played against each other in a tournament in Mexico. And normally in a college tournament, the individual winner, if they tie, they just tie. It's no big deal. But in this tournament, the people that put on the tournament, it was in San Isidro, Mexico, which is over on the west coast, over on the Pacific. Beautiful golf course we played. Anyway, Payne Stewart and I tied. Well, they decided they had this trophy.
You mean tied for the championship?
Tied for the championship with another guy who was a Mexican. He played, but his name was Jaime Diakwe. I never will forget this. The three of us had a playoff and for the trophy. Well, Jaime Diakwe bogeyed the first hole, and Payne and I parred the first hole, so he was out. The next hole, we played 1 and 18 back and forth. On 18, Payne Stewart hit a shot right at the pin, a perfect shot, and it came up about 10 feet short of the pin and buried under the lip of the trap. He couldn't get it out of the trap, made a double bogey, and just basically handed me the tournament.
Wait a minute, Will. You trying to tell me you beat Payne Stewart in a tournament?
I beat Payne Stewart, but that's not I mean, years go by, Mike. Years go by. Payne Stewart came to the Future Masters. All that. So I came out there and I said, Payne, do you remember me? He said, hell yeah, you kicked my ass.
Oh, God.
I took him to the Conestoga.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Wait a minute. Now you tell us you took Payne Stewart to the Conestoga.
Yes. All right, so in 1999, you know I go to the Masters every year.
Yeah.
Robert Fraley was his business manager and agent.
That's right.
I went to law school together at Alabama. Okay? Well, I run into Robert at the Masters. And I said, what are you doing over here? He said, well, I represent Payne Stewart and some other golfers, So I figured, I'm fixing to play a joke on Robert. And so I talked to Robert. I said, Robert, I've always admired Payne Stewart. Can you introduce me? I want an autograph from him and all this, He said, no, you can't bother him during the tournament. It's not right, whatever. Well, Payne Stewart goes to the putt green. And So I said, well, I'm going over there to meet him. I don't give a damn what you say, Robert. And I go over there to the putting green and Payne's putting. And hell, there's thousands of people all around. And Robert said, no, don't do it. Well, finally he said, all right, I'll introduce you or whatever. So he said, Payne, come here. He said, I want you to meet a guy I went to law school with. And Payne Stewart said, hey, Judge, how you been doing?
Yeah.
How old were you when you beat Payne Stewart in Mexico? What were you?
So,
How old?
he and I were the same age.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so anyway, I got Robert pretty good. Well, Payne's game had gone to crap, basically. He wasn't doing very well. But that summer, he won the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. Okay? And in September was when the plane went down. You know, it flew off into North Dakota and crashed.
Yeah.
All of they were dead way before it hit the ground because their oxygen.
Yeah.
They were not used to it. And it was Payne. Robert was in the plane. There was about 6 people in the plane.
Yeah.
But Payne and Robert died. Well, the law school in Alabama got a group to go to Robert's funeral. And Robert's funeral was on a Friday, and Payne's funeral was on a Thursday. So I drove down there, and I'm gonna go to the church. I know I can't get in the church for Payne's funeral. There was 5,000 people outside the church, and I ran into Chip Beck, who I played with in college,
From Georgia.
And anyway, Chip said, "Hey, you come on in here with me." So I sat there. I saw the funeral, and I tell you, it's the saddest funeral I've ever been to. I mean, his wife, Tracy, got up and spoke. Paul Azinger spoke. I mean, there were several people that spoke about Payne Stewart. And then the next day, Robert's funeral, he had 4 children, small children. When he
was the Winchester Rifle. Robert Fraley played backup quarterback at Alabama.
You know, he never played much, but he beat Tennessee one year.
He sure did. I was at that game.
But Robert was a couple of years ahead of me in law school, and I got to know him because the third-year students teach the first-year students how to use the library at the law school. So that's how I got to know Robert.
Yeah.
And but Payne Stewart, well, in '99 he would have been.
He was on the top of it when he died. He was at the top of his game. I think he was really playing good guns.
He had just beat Nicholson in that great U.S. Open.
Yeah, he won the U.S. Open at Pinehurst.
Yeah,
and that was 22 years ago. I'm 64, so he would have been 42.
Yeah. Well, they were great friends. Robert Fraley and Payne were great friends, and it's very sad. You're exactly right. That was a very sad moment in the golf world.
But Willa Tracy sued. God, she sued everybody over that thing and got nothing.
Oh, really?
She lost.
Yeah.
And she was offered.
The big concern was where the plane was going to go down. They didn't know where it was going to crash.
Yeah. And that was all it. I don't want to get involved in any of that, on legal matters. But it was real sad. It was real sad to lose a guy like Payne Stewart. He was a great.
They were going to plane down because they knew everybody in the plane was dead.
Yeah.
They were plane down because it could have crashed into a city or something and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's right. It could. But luckily we didn't have that.
Your dear friend Bear Bryant's birthday was yesterday.
He passed away 38 years ago yesterday. And
so did Kobe. 38 years ago.
Passed away, not his birthday. Sorry.
Yeah. And so did Kobe Bryant. Passed away yesterday, a year ago. He and his daughter.
Yeah.
Both.
Michael, that day was also my mother's birthday. And we were at my parents' house eating dinner the night we found out Coach Bryant died.
You know, a lot of people remember where they were when he died, and I know this.
You were in Tuscaloosa, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in Montgomery, and Bobby Skelton, one of Coach Bryant's players, knocked on the window and told signal for me to come there, and it was, in the middle of a meeting, and he told me that Coach Bryant had died, and that word spread like wildfire.
69 years old. Was it 1 month?
Yeah.
To the day after he won the Liberty Bowl?
That's right.
Something like that.
And
38 years.
And of course, all great people. It seems like you know when they died and where you were, and it was a very sad moment in a lot of people's minds and hearts that love Coach Bryant.
Right, and Dr. Michael McQueen, the doctor at Enterprise, Alabama, he was one of the pallbearers. He was chosen by Coach Bryant's wife,
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back to more of Today in L.A.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Buddy, I'm right here. Miss Mary, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Since 1969, we've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here.
Thank you. Remarkable people, remarkable care.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
LSU, Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to our good friend Will Matthews, and I'm Mike Amos, and he's Forrest Lee, and Mike Amos is calling us on Zoom television this morning.
Yeah, we've got such bad weather down here. Our internet is going out, so I'm just on the phone right now.
Wait, Mr. Will, were you able to go to the Alabama Mississippi State game this past Saturday?
That's the only game I've been to, and it was bizarre with nobody there.
Well, did you have a good time?
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Excuse me.
Did you go with some other folks from Ozark, or where'd you go?
No, I went with this girl I'm seeing from Birmingham.
This girl.
She must have some pull, or do you have pull?
Well, she does. I don't. She went to the championship game, and there weren't many tickets for that.
Yeah. Of course, Will Matthews is our legal expert from Ozark, Alabama, and it's good to have him on our show. Will, what do you think about the Super Bowl? Somebody told me cost quite a bit to go to the game.
Well, my son, I haven't talked to you about this, but my son interviewed for a job Monday with the company. The vice president of the company is going to the game Sunday, next Sunday.
Your son is?
No, the guy that...
Oh, I got you. When,
If you have the money and you're a lifelong Tampa Bay fan and wanted to see Tampa Bay and Brady, especially all these crazy Brady fans, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people pay big money to try to go.
Yeah.
You're only going to allow 22,000 fans. But 22,000 fans is better than they claimed that there was only 9,000 fans at that Packers game at Lambeau. That sure looked like a lot more than 9,000 fans.
It sure did. And
They slipped a few in,
Yeah.
But this deal with Tampa, the reason there's 22,000 fans or whatever, 7,500 fans were going to be first responders and doctors and that type thing that have had the vaccine.
Right, right. So 15,000 paid customers.
Yeah. That is amazing. Of course, you know, the people that make that make the money are the TV people, and you know, of course, you know, there's sponsors, you know, everywhere. Your name?
Over-under on the Super Bowl was 57 points. That's the largest over-under I have ever seen in an NFL game.
You know what? That is one of the, you know, as far as say over-under, that is a very high. You know, no question about it. In fact, I jump all over. I would jump all over that right now.
Well, which way would you jump?
I would go under. I would go under. I just don't think they'll score 57 points.
And then what are you going to do when it's 28-28 at the half?
Yeah, you're right. That's why I'm sitting here, and everybody and those folks in Vegas are have golden elevators.
That's right.
Yeah, Charles Henderson High School will play Carroll Ozark at home this Friday.
Yeah.
You know, they're both about 16-7 overall. They're like number 12 and 13.
Carroll's got a good team.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're both good.
That's
So.
playoff. Is that playoff?
No, so that's not
just
no.
regular season.
No, they'll have regular season this week and some next week, and then the region championships will start the following week.
Did you see our sports guru, our basketball guru, was doing the game last night? If he can operate like that, he can be several places at once.
Come on, Vitale.
Yeah, Vitale.
Yeah.
You know, Vitale is probably the leading analyst out there, you know, as far as well known. And now, by doing his play-by-play analyst like this, he can be a lot of places at once.
Well, my ears have done got tuned off. I'm tired of Dick Vitale.
I know you are.
The way he.
He is probably the number one analyst, you know.
Yeah, he's a little much for me.
What do you think about Vitale, Will?
I mean, Vitale's got to be 75 years old.
Oh yeah, he's at least that old, you know, and he's good at what he does. You know, he creates a little emotion.
He gets kind of carried away.
Yeah, quite a bit.
And, you know, that superstar football player we were talking about at Geneva County, Emmanuel Henderson,
yeah.
You know, last night in basketball, here's what he did. 31 points, 13 rebounds, 10 steals, Geneva over Wicksburg. But you know, he can do it all.
10 steals.
10 steals. So that's a triple-double for Emmanuel Henderson.
And,
so he's just a junior.
Do you think he's going to try to play basketball too?
No, he'll probably just football.
Emmanuel Henderson is just a junior. That's why you don't hear more about him. You know, he is the real deal. I hope that I get to see him play. I like to see him play his senior year, and I don't know if he will or not.
Mike, Saban's been down here 2 or 3 times to see him, so Alabama's recruiting him heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Cadillac.
Emmanuel Henderson.
Right.
So, by the way, I looked up Dick Vitale. He's 81 years old.
81. Yeah, okay.
He makes $3 million a year from ESPN.
Does he really?
Yes.
Gosh. I didn't realize he made that kind of money.
He's been married 50 years.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Well, Dad's been married 50 years. Is that an accomplishment?
Yeah.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Is that an accomplishment for Carol?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's a very good compliment for Carol. You're right.
The way too early top 25 has been released by ESPN. Clemson is the number one team going into next season, which is a surprise.
I know it.
Trevor Lawrence, but I guess they think they've got the backup. They think it's going to be a phenomenal player. Alabama is second. Of course, Alabama's got to replace a lot of great players as well. Oklahoma's number 3. I figured Oklahoma would be really high up there. They've got their quarterback Spencer.
Well, that's pretty high. That's pretty high to be number 3.
And a lot of their great players on defense, but they were a lot better on defense last year too. Georgia Bulldogs, JT Daniels is back at quarterback. Ohio State is number 5. They got to replace their quarterback. After that, you got Texas A&M. A&M's got to replace their quarterback.
Yeah, oh yeah.
North Carolina has their quarterback. He's a great player, Sam Howell. North Carolina is number 7 going into next season. And then
is Howell coming back? Is Howell coming back, or is he going pro?
No, he's coming back. He's just a junior. And then Iowa State will have their quarterback back, Brock Purdy. They're ranked number 8. USC Trojans are ranked number 9. After that, you got the Indiana Hoosiers ranked 10th. Even though they got beat by Ole Miss in the bowl game, I'm surprised.
I know, yeah.
So high. Cincinnati 11th. Iowa number 12. This is the.
Is their quarterback coming back? Is Cincinnati's quarterback coming back?
Yeah, Ritter.
Yeah, you know, that surprises me that all these quarterbacks are coming back.
Oregon Ducks 13th. Washington Huskies 14th. Notre Dame fighting Irish 15th.
Is
16th.
Does their quarterback come back?
Florida? No.
No, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's quarterback.
No, he was a senior.
Okay.
Wisconsin Badgers quarterback. Are coming back at 17. Ole Miss at number 18. Yeah. That's a high ranking for.
They've got a good quarterback coming back.
Yeah, Matt Corral's coming back, and then they also have the Plumlee kid coming back. Number 19 next year. This is impressive for the Sun Belt. Is Louisiana Lafayette.
Oh boy. You know, a lot of it's because their coach. You know, their coach is such a highly respected coach.
LSU is number 20. Texas Longhorns number 21. Penn State number 22. We got Coastal Carolina number 23. How about 2 Sun Belt teams?
That is really, really good. Yeah.
The early polls for next year. And then,
does their quarterback come back? That's important. Does their quarterback come back?
He's like a redshirt freshman.
Yeah,
oh, is he?
Liberty and Malik Willis. Of course, Liberty beat Coastal in the bowl game. They're 24. And then Miami Hurricanes 25. So it looks like Liberty is going to play Troy early in the season. They'll be ranked.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're playing 3 ranked teams right now.
Exactly. When you get a chance, give us Troy's schedule for the next year. It'd be interesting to know because, you know, the scheduling has a lot to do with whether or not you're going to win or not, you know, down the road.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You know, and I looked under the transfer portal. Coastal Carolina is picking up some transfers.
Yeah. That
are quality players.
And you know what scares me is I hope we don't lose number 2. You know, number 2, Troy's great linebacker.
Oh yeah, Carson Marshall.
Yeah, hopefully we can hold on to him. You know, he could go in the portal if he wanted to.
When does the portal close down?
I don't know. Probably the day before signing day. Probably.
Troy's got a lot of great wide receivers coming back. You know, Cornelius Williams, their coach, is now at Auburn. You think Auburn needs any extra receivers?
I guarantee you that they're as good as some of Auburn's. I don't know that.
Well, you know, Swartz is leaving. I don't know if the great receiver out of Tuscaloosa that plays at Auburn, if he's coming back or not.
When you add to that, Michael, there's another report on CBS Sports of the teams to watch for to break the top 25 or to really make noise maybe in the top 10 is Arizona State, Auburn, Boise State, Boston College, Nevada, Northwestern. You've already mentioned Ole Miss, Penn State. UAB's name was mentioned.
Yeah, that's right.
And Washington. So UAB, you know, when they open up that new stadium, that's going to give them a little bit more vim and vigor.
Will they open up this year, Mike, for this season?
Yeah, they'll open this year.
In that brand new stadium.
That's going to be something.
That'll be beautiful.
That's going to enhance their program, I know that.
Protective Stadium, I think.
Protective Life. All right, I was wondering if they had a major sponsor in the Protective Life. I'm sure it's it. And,
I was surprised Missouri's kind of not one of those teams. I felt like they were pretty good under Drinkowitz their first year. They kind of had a horrible game against Mississippi State to finish the year, but I thought Missouri went bad last year.
Yeah, no question about it. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back with more of Today in L.A.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Eddie, I'm right here. Miss Mary, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Since 1969, we've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here.
Thank you. Remarkable people, remarkable care.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
For my service, no question. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to our show, brought to you by one of my favorite places to eat, and is Goldfingers, and it's located in the, I call it the shopping center, but you know, it's sort of standalone. Goldfingers Chicken, located on Highway 231 South, and we appreciate them being a strong supporter of our show. Of course, back to our show.
Auburn has got to find a new defensive line coach. Tracy Rocker was hired, and then as soon as he got the job, he got offered a job with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I guess the Eagles were paying him more money to be the defensive line coach of the Eagles, so now Auburn has got to find a defensive line coach. So,
yeah. You know, while we're sitting here,
staff's not complete yet.
You know, while we're sitting here, let's try to mention several of the coaches that are out there, very popular coaches that at one time were on Troy's staff, and Tracy Rocker was one of them.
Well,
yeah, Rick Haley still.
Rick Haley.
I think last place he was at Missouri.
What about Mike Pelton?
Mike Pelton. I don't know where Mike Pelton is.
I don't know where Pelton is now.
But he was at Georgia Tech at one time, I think.
Yeah.
But a lot of Troy connections.
You got Tommy Robinson that played at Troy, coaching at Texas A&M. He's their running back coach.
That's right. And
then you got a couple of Troy guys. Pruitt, former tight ends at Kentucky. He's got a job. Derek Ansley was at Tennessee as the defense coordinator. I don't know what's going to happen with Ansley.
Yeah.
You know, before Ansley was at Tennessee, he was with the Raiders and John Gruden for a year.
Yeah.
I wonder if he wants to get back into the NFL.
I don't know. You know, the colleges are starting to pay their coaches or their assistant coaches like you know, like the pros. I mean, they
I
big
talked to a coach one day. He said, if you have a job in the Sun Belt as a position coach in the Sun Belt, every single one of those guys make over $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's right, yeah. And a lot of those guys are making more than that. Their coordinators are making more than that.
Yeah, I mean, Big Tony made $350,000 as Troy's defense coordinator, and then when he got the West Virginia job with Neil Brown, he made $650, $675.
Yeah.
I mean, that just tells you the difference.
Yeah, they were doing very well, and of course,
more power
to them.
Gus Short's High School apparently has got a college coaching staff. You know, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
We talked about that superstar running back from Alexandria's transferring down there. He's got 2 years left, 1 or 2 years left.
Who is that?
That running back we were talking about yesterday on the show, transferred from Alexandria High School near Anniston.
Yeah.
He's transferring to Gulf Shores. He's a
player. If anybody wants to call in that wants the Charles Henderson football job, go ahead and call into the show today and talk to us about it.
Yeah, exactly. Of course,
I'm like you though. You know, the more I think about the Charles Henderson job, this is probably the biggest hire, like you mentioned yesterday, maybe in the history of Charles Henderson football, especially what's going on in Pine Liberal Arts right now, and you know, Troy City Schools. You know, I mean, this is a very important hire, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, long term, if you get the right person, then it needs to be. Let's get a sheet of paper out, and everybody is on the same sheet of music as it relates to the high school, the middle school, because the middle school coaching job is open. They're I don't know if they're going to hire a long-term sub to finish out the year, but it's where, hey, we got to get everybody on in the same rowboat, and let's row together academically and athletically.
Exactly.
As it relates to all sports, and football is.
I'll tell you this right now, point blank, and anybody could call in and argue this if they wanted to. Without the transfers from Charles Henderson High School, Pike Liberal Arts would have never won a state championship. I will put that information out there because they received, they were able to recruit some premium athletes to Pike Liberal Arts that they've never seen before. I mean, and I'm not saying they didn't have good players before, but they did. But the numbers of players that they got from Charles Henderson won them a state championship.
I mean, it's funny now if you look at it. I mean, right now, like off the top of my head, high school football coaches in Troy and the surrounding area that won state championships. You got Wayne Grant, of course, he's won so many. You got Mario White now, my little Arts, he's won one. You got Stephen Kilcrease at Arrington, he's won 2.
That's right.
You got Ed Rigby that won 1 at Elba, played for another.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just people. These are just people that live in the Troy area.
That's right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And and I'm not knocking them. Within the rules, they can recruit them. And evidently Charles Henson's program was not strong enough to keep those athletes or keep them from transferring.
Yeah, they wanted to win. They were coming off
exactly.
a 3-7, a 4-6, and a 1-9. I mean, shoot, those kids wanted to have a chance to win a state championship.
Well, you look at you look at the 3 big guys. You've got Norcutt, you've got Geis, and you've got I want to say you've got let's see, what's the other guy that was a big lineman, Baker, I want to say.
I think he might be from Goshen.
But those 3 guys alone in the line, in the offensive and defensive line, would be the difference in winning and losing. They were that good. But
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Of course, we have no clue. This is just us, having an opinion. But I definitely want to see them turn the program around.
If you like chocolate.
Mike Dean wasn't the most likable coach of all time, but man, he sure was a good coach.
He sure was, and you're exactly right. And he didn't like he told me one time. He said, we need players. We don't need actors. He said we want players to win football games. Well,
you certainly got the facilities, and it's going to be one day at a time. And my guess, within the next 10 days, they'll probably name somebody.
Yeah. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. One of the leading truck lines in America, and they want you to come be a part of their team at Wiley Sanders Trucking Company. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson Satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson Satisfaction is real.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
And back to our show, brought to you by Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need, and also Bill Jackson Chevrolet and Ford on the bypass right here in Troy. We appreciate all of our sponsors so much. Of course, one of our sponsors is out there in front of everybody, and that is Troy Regional Medical Center, and one of the strong local hospitals in Alabama, and we appreciate Rick and all the great people that represent this wonderful hospital that we are proud to say is our own.
And one thing I want to add, Mike, to that, think of all the healthcare workers at the hospital and at Sarah and all the clinics and the doctor's offices. You know, they've been under a lot of stress and strain, and all the doctors, and of course we've had some doctors to be affected by it personally, and but it's been a tough road to hoe for them, and I want to thank them for their efforts and pray for their safety each day. And some of them have lost loved ones, and our prayers are for them. It's like Dr. DeShera, his wife passed away, and she was there in the office with him.
Oh, a great lady.
But
a great lady.
It's just, you just never know. And the first responders, the police, and you know, the people that have to have daily contact with our citizens, you know, it's an everyday challenge and an everyday where you're putting your life on the line, so to speak. When you see patients that,
no question about
you know, there's things you've got to do where masks are off, I'm sure. But as it relates to COVID, there were 234 more deaths reported yesterday in Alabama. And in the last 26 days, more than 2,000 people have passed away. Total deaths in Alabama are almost at 6,900. But one of the misleading things that I read on Alabama.com, of the 234 cases that have been reported this year, 115 happened last year. In other words, they don't get reported till the month of January.
Oh, okay.
When someone passes away, all the data, and once all those figures come in, well, it doesn't show up until later in your count. So of the 234 deaths that have been reported this year in Alabama, 115 happened last year. Mm-hmm. So, but still, in Pike County, I believe the number, we're at 35 people who've passed away here in Pike County.
Yeah, you know, those figures are not bad.
35,
yeah.
and but you know, it's a day-to-day thing, and I think yesterday there were 2,900 cases in Alabama. But that's just to mention a little bit about the fight we're having with COVID-19. You know, they're worried about this new strain that's coming out as it relates to COVID and how it reacts to people, and it's more contagious, they say. You know, just in Michigan alone, at the University of Michigan, they've suspended all athletic activities and extracurricular activities because of the new strain is in their athletic program in Michigan. So
that is amazing.
It's
no question about it, and it's still out there.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers continue for all our friends in Troy that have had loved ones pass away from COVID, and I'm still can't believe that we lost Miss Cheryl and Joan Beard and all these other Miss Locklear. I mean, it's just been awful.
Yeah, we sure have. They were all wonderful people, and we pray for them every day.
Well, a little bit about local basketball. Pike Liberal Arts won again last night. The boys and girls, they play again Friday night. Last night, Charles Henderson defeated Pike County High School in Brundage. That's their 16th win. They're 16-7. And this Friday, Charles Henderson will host Carroll of Ozark. And they will also be at home next Tuesday against Pike County. And then the following Friday, they'll play they'll host Abbeville. Goshen opens up their season tomorrow in Opp.
You mean opens up their
No,
season?
I'm sorry. They resume their season.
I got you.
Yeah, they resume their season tomorrow against Opp, and then Friday they'll play at New Brockton. So we've got some quality basketball
I tell you,
going
you
on
look
here
at that Charles
in Troy.
Henderson record, and they were against premium opponents. I mean, their basketball is highly competitive.
Yeah, and their
to
girls
be 16-7. That's pretty good.
Yeah, their girls are like number 3 in the state, so they're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, Charles Henderson basketball is good as anybody.
What is the basketball coach Branson's background? Where did he coach before he came to Charles Henderson?
Well, Doug, I think, played at Goshen under his daddy. His daddy was at Goshen at one time. I'm not real sure, but he's coached collegiately at Columbus State College. And I talked to him, and he's offered to come on the show
Love to have him.
one day, and I was going to work that out with you tonight,
yes, sir.
or this morning. But tomorrow, Dan Smith is coming tomorrow to be on the show from 7:30 to 8 to give us an update about the rec department.
Exactly.
And I know there's some great things going on at the Pike County Lake that he'll discuss.
And I want to mention also that our good friends that are having their well, I was going to say they're having their
polar bear.
No, you'll have your polar bear deal, and man, I tell you, I've recommend that you wear some extra clothing.
Well, I'm gonna wear a pair of swim trunks, and I had a T-shirt on, and I had me a shower cap on, but I'm gonna drink some polar bear milk before I enter the pool. But that polar bear plunge is this Saturday at 9 o'clock, sponsored by the Troy Pike County Habitat for Humanity.
We've also got a Camp Stew sale coming up, and we're going to bring her on before long to let everybody know when to pick up their Camp Stew.
Is that with that Carter Sanders Cooks for?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the Salvation Army?
That's right, Salvation Army annual.
Yeah, Troy weather. Weather's gonna be cold. It's gonna be 35 tonight is a low in Troy, and then tomorrow will be 28. And then when Forrest Lee jumps in, it's gonna be 34 degrees.
Man. Forrest, run, Forrest, run! Run away from this, Forrest. Run away from this.
Then my voice might change a little bit.
I know, it might change. Let's just say this. I hope he jumps from cold water to warm water in a hurry. I don't know if that's good for you or not.
Well, I tell you what I did. When I jumped last year, it was kind of chilly, but when I got out, I didn't ache. My ankles didn't hurt. My knees didn't hurt. So, cold water, I think therapy might be good for you. And,
well, let me just say this.
I've always heard people take cold showers sometimes.
Well, I'll tell you this. One of my wonderful doctors growing up, Dr. Jack Brantley, used to take a cold shower every morning. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Well, what I Now, what I would used to do, I'll cut that after I take my shower.
Yeah.
I'll cool it off a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so I won't be steaming so much.
Diana Lee, let me tell you something, honey. If you could make all these folks dive into that water Friday, you can do anything, and I think she can do anything.
Diana Lee is a superstar.
She is. When it comes to raising money, no question about it. Give me I want Diana Lee on my team. Because if she can talk folks into jumping into this kind of cold water, she can.
I was out at the beach with the girls yesterday. Oh, not yesterday, but the day before, and 2 or 3 people were out there swimming. Though I mean, it's just this time of year, you still have people, especially from up north, that it just doesn't seem to bother them.
I've got a granddaughter. That'll run jump in it right now.
Diana's got a brother named Ryan Daughtery who lives in the Auburn. Ryan. Well, he is the owner and inventor of Chimney Rock hot sauce, based upon the Chimney Rock number 43 in Lake Martin.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a hot sauce.
I love hot sauce.
It's Chimney Rock. So I'm gonna take a swig of that to warm up.
Yeah. That would be good.
So
would be good.
I had to get her to talk more about that.
Well, mention Express Oil Change and Chris and all the great folks there, and they've also got a full line of car and truck repair also, and we appreciate them so much. Also, Little Caesars, man, I tell you, that's the best pizza on the market today. Little Caesars pizza.
The
Little Caesars, they do the square pizzas they used to have. I used to love the square.
I think they still make it. I think they still do that. I'm not sure, though.
You know,
the best thing about Little Caesars, you don't have to wait.
That's right. It's hot and ready.
You go in and it's ready to go.
And it is good, no question about it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about baseball. The Hall of Fame did not elect any members to this year's class, and that's the first time, I believe, since 1960. Kurt Schilling missed it by 16 votes. He got like 71 or 72%. You're supposed to have at least 75%. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens both had about 61 or 62%. But Kurt Schilling said, "Hey, I don't want to be on it next year. I don't want to be on the ballot." Then after the next year, it's voted by, I think, the old timers group. So that's kind of been controversial.
I tell you, those two guys, would normally be on any Hall of Fame list, and
I mean, Clemens and Bonds were Hall of Famers before they got involved in steroids. I mean, their numbers
they were. You're right.
Were way up there. They were Hall of Fame players. Just Bonds and Clemens wanted to keep on playing for another 10 years, and didn't want to drop off any. Yeah. Most players get their numbers go down as their career gets longer and longer. Bonds and Clemens, especially Bonds, his numbers were going up. He was hitting 70 home runs in his late 30s.
Oh yeah, you're right. No question about it.
Well, what about Pete Rose? What's your thoughts on that, Michael?
I mean, I feel like gambling, way more prevalent than people realize in sports. And I mean, I know he's the manager and he was gambling on his own team, but I mean, I think he's too great of a player not to put him there.
You know what? If you voted for him on his baseball laurels, he would win over and over and over again. He would be the number one guy out there practically on what he did.
4,100 hits.
I feel.
Yeah, it was so sad. I was in Vegas on a work trip, and he was at a sports memorabilia store attached to. I was in Mandalay Bay, I guess, is where I was, and he was in there, and just sitting at a table. Anybody could have walked up to him. You just had to pay like about $100 for him to sign a, 8x10 picture or a baseball or a bat or whatever you wanted him to sign. They told me he sits in there about every other Saturday, signing autographs.
Yeah, and it's a shame, no question about it. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great day today. You know, talking about baseball, college baseball is just around the corner.
It is. We talked about that yesterday. Troy University will open up a 4-game series against, who was that?
Florida State, wasn't it?
No, they're going to play them in the middle of the year.
Oh,
okay. They're going to play Youngstown State.
Youngstown State.
Youngstown State Penguins.
Yeah, in a 4-game series, and then the Lady Trojans of Troy University, they open up the 12th, 13th, and 14th of February.
Yeah, and they have a premium softball program, no question about it, led by a young lady named Johnson, who is from Brantley.
Brantley, Alabama, one of them Lady Bulldogs. And Brantley has put out some softball players in the last several years, and it's unbelievable what they've done.
And another thing, you know, I don't know if they're going to start charging for people who come watch them. You know, they don't charge, you know, at their games. That's the best deal that money can buy, right? Or that you can get free.
Yeah, that's a nice setting too. But you know, Troy's had Charles Henderson has had some players to run through there. Taylor Smart and
exactly right.
Becca Hartley.
Yeah.
You know, that married the great Joey Dennison.
Joey Dennison, boy, with that. Hey, is that
that's a picturesque couple there.
It is, sure is.
Yeah.
And
that's still one of the most strange situations ever, that you can hit 400 and have 85 or 90 RBIs and not be drafted. I still can't believe that happened.
You know, they said that it was his age. He was 23 years old, and you know, to me that doesn't sound like you're very old, but it's the way the major leaguers look at it, or the scouts look at it. They want you to be younger. They want you to be 21 years old.
Right.
And it makes that much difference.
The Troy girls roster, Troy University softball roster, is Kate Mosley. She's a redshirt freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. She's an Auburn transfer, actually.
Okay.
So they got a kid that transferred from Auburn's program. Ashley Finch, freshman, Geneva, Alabama. She's an outfielder. Mosley was an outfielder, too. This girl was player of the year from Skipperville, Alabama. GW Long High School, Libby Baker. She's a pitcher. She was Alabama player of the year.
You mean as a high school player? As a high school player?
George W. Long has a phenomenal program down there.
She was another Alabama player of the year.
Okay.
Libby Baker.
Yeah.
And then you had an infielder, Megan Patterson, from St. Aquinas High School. Kaylee Chapman is from Springville, Alabama. I know where that is very well. It's right outside of Birmingham. Infielder. Ashley Ard, Franklinton, Louisiana. Never even heard of that. Infielder. James Sinnis, Sebring, Florida. Outfielder. And then you got the girl from Brantley I've been talking about is Leanna Johnson. Pitcher.
Yeah. Now, does she play any other position other than pitcher? You know, they say she was a real good hitter in high school.
It just says pitcher, and then you got Audrey Thompson, Kissimmee, Florida, freshman Jill Robinson, catcher, Mobile, Alabama, Baker High School, Candela Figueroa out of Chipola College. She's originally from Argentina. That's interesting. Pembroke, Florida is again. Pembroke Pines, Florida. Caitlin, the Leon catcher, infielder, Ada Polk out of Snellville, Georgia. Brianna Bailey, Wewa Hitchcock, Florida.
Wewa Hitchcock, yeah, that's a good friend of mine. That's where my buddy is that lives, well, actually, he lives in Wewa Hitchcock, but he doesn't live in Wewa Hitchcock, he lives right near it, but he tells me he goes fishing at Wewa Hitchcock all the time. They're some of the best bream fishing in the world.
Another infielder, Logan Calhoun out of Dublin, Georgia. Another pitcher, Kinsley Ray Blassingame from Newside, Alabama. Where's Newside, Alabama?
I know where Newside is.
Up north?
It's over there near Wadley. It's right near Wadley.
Okay.
You know where Wadley was? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Horseshoe Bend. I've been
and
there
then,
when I was little.
Another infielder named Katie Webb out of Salem, Alabama, Central High School. Where's Salem, Alabama?
Oh, I should know that. I know.
Then another outfielder pitcher, Katie Lively out of Polina, Alabama. She's a sophomore. Another pitcher, Haley Postel, redshirt freshman out of Hueytown, Alabama.
That's a good program.
Mia Jenkins out of Monticello, Georgia, Jasper County High School. And then Kelly Horn, infielder, Tallahassee, Florida. And then Kennedy Gayton, Winter Springs, Florida. That's the roster coached by Beth Mullins, assistant coach Taylor Smart, assistant coach Holly Ward, and director of operations Christy Lawrence. That's the 2021 Troy softball team.
I'm going to tell you, that is a super lineup right there, and a wonderful coaching staff. Troy softball is about as good as they come.
Yeah, this summer I got to meet some of those girls. They would come play golf.
Yeah.
And the coaches, they had to just get out of Troy one day, and there was 2 or 3 coaches out there. They said, we're just going to have a meeting on the golf course.
Of course, Taylor Smart, her brother is the head baseball coach at Charles Henderson, and her daddy is the head baseball coach at Troy University.
Right, and you mentioned Chipola. I think Bobby Pierce is assisting at Chipola Junior College in baseball.
Baseball,
that's right. Yeah.
And he and his wife.
They live. I want to say they live in Graceville, don't they?
They live right there near 30A. Right past
they
that.
live down here. I've seen them before at restaurants.
Yeah, before that Publix.
Somewhere on 30A.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, just wonderful. And I had a super time coaching with Kay at the elementary school, and Debbie and I talked together at the middle school at one time.
Exactly.
Chase Allen Smart.
No question about it.
Yeah, I'll never forget Chase Smart hitting that home run at Riverwalk Stadium. My ball's still going. That was one of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen in my life.
That's
right.
Probably.
Did you see that home run?
I did.
I did.
I was so excited. But Chase, my guess, is named after Chase Riddle.
No question
and the impact he had on Mark and all those other guys.
Yeah.
And I was there when Wendell hit that home run at Patterson Field. I was a Blues Brother that night. Me and Bill Gospel. I was there.
That was at midnight. I had school the next day. Dad was checking me out every day from school.
I know.
That was taking me to Montgomery. That was a lot of fun.
He was getting a good education watching that baseball team play. You're right. And of course, we're awfully proud of our heritage growing up here in Troy and being a part of Troy University and Troy State College and Troy State Teachers College, and we were awfully proud.
Troy's got a rich tradition in coaches. Golly, just think of Chase Riddle, Charlie Bradshaw, Bobby Pierce, Mark Smart,
Billy Atkins,
Larry Blakeney, Chan Gailey, Rick Rose,
Don Maestri.
Oh yeah, boy, you're right. We have had
George
a rich
Sorrell.
coaching heritage here. I'll tell you.
On the college football.
I tell you what, you got to put Coach Rigby up there too.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
Mike Griffin Golf.
Yes sir. Ricky.
Who else was the golf coach?
Well, you had
Barney
Burnett, Barney Burnett, and some wonderful coaches, no question about it, in this program.
Right. Well, we look forward for Dan.
Wasn't Archer a great coach too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right, no question about it.
He was my advisor in college, my physical education advisor. I loved to go just sit and listen to him.
Exactly, yeah.
Listen to him talk.
No question about it. And we hope to have another man that has made a name for himself as far as recreation directors across the country. Give me Brother Smith. I'll take him every day.
Smith. Dan, if you
Bo Gaylord, those folks.
Mike, you ever remember Dan riding around Troy on a purple convertible Volkswagen Bug?
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. He's got it disassembled at his house.
Does he really?
And I want the citizens of Troy to come together, get his permission, and get that Volkswagen and take it somewhere, and the citizens of Troy pitch in and have that thing fixed. And on the opening ceremonies of baseball here at the Sportsplex, Mike Amos and I will drive into the outfield and present him that car after Sheila Jackson sings the national anthem.
Oh, that would be
That
nice.
would be wonderful.
That'd be,
It can happen. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Well,
I'm putting Ben Smith in charge of that. His brother Ben.
Yeah, no question about it. Of course, we appreciate all of our supporters and our, of course, citizens of Troy and Pike County and wherever you can watch our show. We hope that you're watching it today on Facebook. And, you know, when I say Facebook in person, and I mean that because we're running our show every morning live from our studios on South Frontage Street, and we appreciate all of the folks here at Pike. Of course, you know, we are sponsors on the screen there, and again, we wish each of you a great day, and hope that tomorrow will be even a better day.
Yeah, because we've got Dan Smith coming, and one thing I'd like to add, you can see the replay at 1:30 each and every day here on Troy Cable Channel 2, and I want to thank Steve Kemp and his staff for having us, and
we're also going to have
Freeman family for having this studio.
Exactly. We're going to also have our stew man here tomorrow, and we'll look forward to seeing him also briefly on our show to recognize all the efforts that goes into Camp Stew Sale, which is the delicious Camp Stew that's going to be on sale on Thursday, well, actually on Friday, and we'll look forward to that. Of course, you got your doors are open at the Pike County.
Right. They'll be open about 9 o'clock, and we got to check on the weather because I know it rained some this morning, but we were open yesterday. Had a beautiful afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And we're open 6 days a week, with the exception of Monday. And come play golf with us. We have a 9-hole course, and it's right there in Brunions, right across the street from the Walmart Distribution Center.
Yes, sir.
And, there's been some,
not hard to find, but right up underneath that big tank. Is that right?
That's right across the street. And Danny Presswood, he's had 8 hole-in-ones out there.
Well, I tell you what, he's one of my favorites. He's one of the top golfers to come out of there.
And we got some Mobleys down there. Of course, Donnie Mobley, and there's been some lot of golfers to come through that course.
Yeah, some of the best golfers ever.
You know, get your kids out, and we've got some smaller clubs that you can rent and use, and so come play golf with us. Steve Kemp's been there.
If you can't find clubs there, just go to Crow Hill to Mike Amos' garage. He's got about 10 bags full
Well,
of
you don't
golf
have to recognize that now. We hope that you've enjoyed our show brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines in Troy, Alabama, and all the great folks that represent Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Hope you have enjoyed our show. We'll see you bright and early in the morning for Today in L.A.